What's up guys, Jacob Ober here. In this video, I'm going to be counting down my top 5 least favorite fan bases in professional sports. So, we're going to start at number 5 here. This has been something that I've kind of been building up for a while now. I've wanted to do my least favorite fan bases ever because, you know, interacting with other fans on a daily basis through social media can be pretty tiring. So these are the 5 that I really just cannot stand at all. So number 5 is going to be Toronto. The Toronto fan base, whether that be the Blue Jays or the Raptors. And, you know, honestly, I like both of these teams, especially, you know, like when the Raptors aren't actively competing with my team, the Milwaukee Bucks. But really, in my interactions with these fans, they've really come across as pretty unknowledgeable. I mean, they just don't really know anything about the sports that they're watching. And, you know, you can also remember back to, I believe it was Game 5 of the NLDS. I was rooting, or the ALDS, I should say, back in 2015. I was actually rooting for Toronto in this game, but that was the game where Toronto fans threw beer and bottles and glass all over the field because they didn't like a call. I mean, these fans, you know, they're not that knowledgeable. They don't really have a whole lot of decency, which is really kind of interesting because you think people from Canada, you know, there's that stereotype, you know, Canadian people are all really nice and stuff. Not so much with Toronto fans. These guys are really, like I said, unknowledgeable, and they're really kind of just mean. They're really mean. They were very insulting, especially back a few months ago when the Bucks played the Raptors. After the Raptors won, the social media was flooded with Raptors fans all over the Bucks page, and they were really, really mean people. I mean, they were just, and I know that this doesn't speak for all Toronto fans, and really keep in mind in this video, I'm not speaking for every single fan of these fan bases, just in general what I've come across. But Toronto fans, unknowledgeable and just plain out mean. Number 4, Los Angeles fans. Los Angeles is one of the most fair weather sports markets I've ever seen. These fans don't care about their teams, and yet they're equally as nasty as Toronto fans. And they really don't have a whole lot of understanding about the game either. I mean, especially the Kobe Bryant fans from LA. Those guys are some of the dullest people I've ever met. Unreal how dumb they are. Like, if you actually want to argue that LeBron James is not as good as Kobe Bryant, then you need to be sent off to another planet, because it's not even in the same stratosphere. As for LA itself, you know, Los Angeles, like, I mean, I like a few of their teams, you know. I don't mind rooting for the Lakers sometimes, especially because I kind of like LeBron. I wish him the best, you know. I think he's a pretty scrutinized player for how much crap he gets, you know, and how much he's achieved at the NBA level. He's clearly, there's no doubt that he's at least a top 3 player of all time. But, like, people, like, they're just overly biased, you know, towards their own players. You know, there's a lot of Los Angeles fans that hate LeBron James for some reason. They wish they didn't get him. Like, I cannot imagine being a fan of a team and being mad that I got the best player in the world. I can't imagine that. And there was so many that were upset over getting LeBron James this past summer, all because they're Kobe Bryant fans. They love Kobe Bryant. And that's probably the biggest issue I have with LA fans, you know. They're all a bunch of Kobe Bryant fans that don't really understand the sport of basketball. They worship Kobe Bryant as a god, and it is just absurd. Other than that, though, you know, like I said, really fair weather, really biased. I remember back to the LA series against the Brewers. Their crowd was not very loud, and I mean, I remember them being, you know, it gave off a really bad vibe when we played in LA. It was just kind of, like, I mean, I'm glad I wasn't there. I'm glad I'm not a Los Angeles fan, because it just seemed like crap. And when the Packers went to play the Rams earlier this year, like 75% of that stadium was filled with Packers fans. Like, you're the second largest city in the United States, and you cannot even get the majority fans in your own home stadium for a team that plays thousands of miles away. Like, that just screams fair weather to me. But anyways, we're going to move on to number 3 here. My number 3 least favorite fan base of all time, Minnesota. That includes college sports and professional sports. The Golden Gophers, they are so annoying for being a program that has literally won nothing in any sport that I care about. Literally nothing. They've never won anything in basketball. They've never won anything in football. And yet when they beat the Badgers earlier this year for the first time in like 18 years, they talked a lot of shit. I mean a lot of shit. And this is a fan base that talks a lot of shit for winning literally nothing. I don't think any of their teams have really won anything at all. The Timberwolves, no. The Vikings, no. The Gophers, no. I don't really care about hockey. I don't know about the Wild. I know there are a lot of Wisconsin fans that are also Minnesota Wild fans. I don't really care about hockey, though, so I'm just going to leave that out. But, like, these guys have won nothing in their in any sport, and they talk so much for what. Like, I remember when they won the division last year, and then a few years before that. I have never seen a team brag about a division title that much. The Packers win the division every freaking year, and these guys went insane over a division title. It was like winning a Super Bowl to them. I swear to God, it is unbelievable, this fan base. I cannot believe Minnesota fans. And the fact, you know, they're also a pretty mean fan base, too. I mean, they're really, really rude and really, really, I mean, yeah, rude is pretty much the best description for them. They're just not that fun to be around, you know. I went to the Vikings versus Packers playoff game about 7 years ago in Lambeau, and they were some really rude fans. They were screaming obscenities, and they were spilling beer all over the place, and they were chanting "blow, pack, blow." You know, I mean, it sucks. They sucked, and I'm not trying to defend the Packers fan base here because I know our fan base kind of sucks sometimes too. But their fan base, I mean, they just suck, man, and they talk so much shit for winning nothing, and they're annoying. I don't like them, and especially when they have a mild amount of success, they are insufferable. Moving on to number 2 here, Chicago sports / Cubs fans, with an emphasis on the Cubs fans. I don't like Cubs fans. Obviously, you can see I'm wearing a Brewers jersey, I have a Brewers hat on, but really, if I wasn't a Brewers fan, I'd probably think pretty similar. Cubs fans suck, and I think a lot of people across the country would agree with me saying that Cubs fans suck. This is another fan base that talked an insane amount of trash for winning very little in their franchise history. The Cubs won World Series in the past 108 years, and they think that they are a storied franchise filled with success. I swear to God, they walk around like they have 27 titles like the Yankees. They are a very, very, very... They have been a franchise that has sucked for the vast majority of their entire existence. And just because they've had some success over the past 5 years or so, they all open their mouths. And man, let me tell you, you think that the Minnesota fans coming up to Green Bay was bad? The Cubs fans who come to Miller Park are awful. Especially the Wisconsin part of the Cubs fan base. There are a lot of Cubs fans in Wisconsin. I don't know why. I think that was probably because they were always on national TV in Wisconsin in like the 90s, 80s when a lot of these people were growing up. But they suck. Wisconsin Cubs fans are terrible. They are so mean and so arrogant and so annoying. I mean, I can't even deal with these fans. Like, I cannot. Like, I see, they're very unknowledgeable for that matter. They're very arrogant. They're very callous. They're very ignorant. They're just everything you don't like about fans, packed into one. I hate them. They suck. And I apologize if you're a Cubs fan who's actually good, because I actually have run into quite a few Cubs fans who are pretty good fans, you know, but they're biased, they're ignorant, they're arrogant, they think they're the hot shit for winning 1 World Series over the past 108 years, you know. They talk down to the Brewers fans because they think that having 1 more World Series while having an extra, 60 years to do it is something impressive. No, it's not. The Brewers have been around for 40 to 50 years. The Cubs have been around for like 120 years. You have 1 more World Series title than us in the past 108 years. Give us a little time, guys. Coming in at number 1 on my top 5 least favorite fan bases in sports, we have Boston. That includes the Celtics, the Red Sox, and especially the Patriots. These guys have won a lot of championships. They've seen a lot of championships in their time. They are so arrogant. They think, you know, and I mean, honestly, I guess they kind of have a right to talk shit to people because they've won so many titles. But I could not name one fan base on planet Earth that is more deserving to suffer for 100 years than this fan base. They have won enough. I have seen enough of these people. They are they're really bad fans for the most part. A lot of their fans are very, very dumb, very, very arrogant, very, you know, just kind of rude and mean and nasty, and like there's documented cases of them being racist to players, you know. So they're filled with racists and homophobes, and it's just like a really bad collection of people. And they're all very uneducated and very dumb. And I am very sorry if you were a Boston sports fan who was, you know, nice or a good fan, you know, because I really want to express this enough. I am really only talking to the people that suck about in this video. I'm not talking about every single fan, but really in my encounters with Boston sports fans, many of them suck. Many of them suck. I mean, they are just... I mean, especially Patriots fans, man. I hate Patriots fans, and I hate Tom Brady fans for that matter. They block out anything and everything that disproves them in an argument. They block it out. They just go back to the same tired narrative of championships. Congratulations, your team has won championships. We get it. They're not interested in debating facts or logic or anything like that. If there ever comes a point where you think you might have won the argument, they just throw out their championships and they think they win. That is how amazingly arrogant they are. They are just so annoying. And Celtics fans, every year the Celtics think they're going to the finals and they think they're going to win. Every single year, even if they're sucking. And they are, I'm not going to say they're a fair weather fan base. They're obviously very devoted fans. A lot of these fans actually have suffered through some pretty bad droughts. You know, the Patriots and the Red Sox. The Celtics, of course, have been successful for pretty much their entire history. So if there's ever a single team that deserves to lose for 100 years, I think it'd be the Celtics. But, like, I mean, they suck. And they're not fair weather, but they're very critical of their team, even though their team is really good sometimes. And that's really irritating, because there are a lot of teams out there and a lot of fan bases that have suffered through a lot of crap over the years, and this fan base, especially the Celtics, man, especially the Celtics. Like, come on, man. Come on. You've had so much success. Boston has had so much success. And they are just so... I mean, I guess they've kind of gotten used to winning a lot, so I guess that's kind of where that comes from. But still, there was a game earlier this year where Boston was losing. They were like 15 games over 500 at this point. They were getting blown out, and their fans were booing and leaving the stadium, and it was like the middle of the fourth quarter, and I don't even think the game was over yet. Like, come on, man. Like, I can't... Cleveland fans would love to have the kind of success that Boston sports has had. Like, you know, things like that. It's just so annoying and so... And, you know, Tom Brady fans, that part of the Patriots organization, you know, like I said, they're not interested in debating facts. Every single one that I ever come across just ignores anything I have to say, and they spit out championships. That's all they have to say about anything. So, with that... That's my top 5 least favorite fan bases, and I'd love to hear what you guys would rank as the top 5 least favorite, as your top 5 least favorite fan bases. So leave that in the comments section below. If you like to, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.